I want to share with you a story, which in a way is a major blessing. The other day I went to Home Depot, which is a home improvement store in the United States, to make copies of keys. So I went there, I found the key area, and there was a line. There was a woman working there who was talking to another woman, and they were laughing, they were having a good time, and I was just eavesdropping. And they're just like sharing good vibes about their family, laughing, having a good time, and they were speaking their native language. So I was like, this is cool. And then that customer left, and it was my turn to make a copy of the keys. I give the keys to the employee there, and I was like, some customers are really nice to talk to, aren't they? I like to treat employees in any customer service establishment like humans. I like to ask them how their day is. So many people don't treat them like humans. Anyway, she was like, some people are just really nice to talk to. They were talking about kids, the employee and the customer. I said, oh, I liked what you said to that woman. And then she's like, oh, do you have kids? I was like, no. I said, I need to be a little bit more responsible, I think, before I have kids. I don't know if I'm ready at the moment. And she said something that really stuck with me that I want to share with you. She said, it does not take a lot of money to raise kids. What's the most important in raising kids is showing them love. And of course, raising kids does require a lot of resources. You want to provide for their basic needs, food and shelter, and that does cost money. She was just explaining to me that money is important, but for true happiness, you just need love. She said money is not going to buy you happiness. You have to feel it in your soul. And I was like, damn, she's speaking my language. You never know where you're going to meet someone that's going to click with you or give you a message that resonates with you. It resonated with me. She's like, I have 2 kids at home and I'm a single mother. I was like, that's beautiful. And she's like, I pray one day that I'm going to meet my lover. I was like, I pray for you as well. She's like, if you want to be with someone that only cares about the money and doesn't love you for who you are, not just looking but inside, then you should run. I was like, yeah, high five. Anyway, we're talking for about 10 minutes while my key was being made, and it was just a really nice conversation. I left, I paid for the key, I went home, and I started reflecting about the conversation that we had. And I do think that love is the most powerful thing in the world, okay? Love is one of those things that people strive for with dating sites, with all these social activities like bars, clubs, meetup events, dating events. Everyone wants to be loved. People are also afraid of the very thing that they want the most, which I think is love. But here's the thing. Do you really know what love is? I mean, how do you define love? For me personally, I always thought that love was outside of myself. We always talk about, oh, I love eating pizza. I love eating ramen. I love going shopping. These are all external things. I love this person. And everyone talks about this all the time, self-love. But what does that actually mean? What does that actually mean? What does that actually mean? I think it comes down to taking care of yourself, seeing what lights you up, seeing how you feel, listening to your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. They always say when you're on an airplane, be sure to put the oxygen mask over your face first before you help your partner, because you have to take care of yourself first in order to help other people. I'm always the type of person that's trying to help other people and not take care of myself. I think the real key is to focus not outside of ourselves, to focus inside of ourselves and do check-ins with us. How am I feeling? What are the subconscious thoughts in my mind? What am I thinking about? How do I feel towards myself? And be aware of this. Be conscious about how we're feeling. I love myself. I'm proud of myself. I nurture and take care of myself. And back to the example about putting the oxygen mask on us first before we can help other people. This is a crazy thought. Everything that you look for in another person to love is already inside of yourself. You just have to activate it. You have to activate your true nature, your true self, your true soul. Once you do that, you're comfortable with who you are as a person on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Finding love is not hard. It finds you because you're not coming from a place of lack. You hear the dove? It's a sign. You're not coming from a place of lack because you already love yourself. And of course, the practice of loving yourself is not like an instant switch. It's a conscious practice like anything. Some days I have negative thoughts about myself, and then I could spiral down and stay locked in this negative thought loop about who I am as a person. Of course, we should acknowledge our mistakes, acknowledge our faults, but don't stay in this lock of negativity. That's not who you are. You're not your past experiences. You're not your mistakes. You learn from them, you integrate them, and you change and you evolve. But there's something good about yourself that you like, or you're proud of yourself. You're doing better than you think. For example, I really like my eyebrows. When I was younger, I had a unibrow and I got made fun of, but I like my eyebrows. They have a good shape. I like my voice. I used to not like my voice. I like how deep I am sometimes when I'm talking to people. A lot of people don't think I'm deep because I'm not the one to open my mouth, and I'm not so outgoing and extroverted when first meeting someone. I'm listening, I'm observing how they're speaking, what they're talking about, and their actions. See, I like that about myself. I'm not the loudest in the room, but I'm getting a good sense of who you are as a person. Just kidding. I think it's about meeting people where they're at. When I was a certified sommelier, not everyone wants to talk about vintages, grape varietals, and terroir. They just want a glass of wine to chill and hang out with their friends. It's about meeting people where they're at. Anyway, love is important. It first starts with yourself, self-love, and then external love happens like that. I don't think love is just for another person. I think it's a vibration, it's a frequency in which we can live our lives. Do you want to think about life as the glass half full or the glass half empty? Do you want to think about it positively or negatively for the most part? Of course, we shouldn't always be positive sunshines and rainbows, but ultimately, perspective is everything. And to have a loving, compassionate mindset when things go wrong or when people wrong us, because everyone and everything at some point will not always work out. So if I can consciously decide to not get angry at the situation and be in this love bubble, I'll say love bubble, yay, then little things won't affect me as much. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about having a focused intention with an elevated emotion. So if that elevated emotion is love with anything, think of how much more powerful love is rather than fear. When you're afraid of something, you tense up, right? You tense up, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. You feel stiff. Whereas love is free. You feel flexible. You're able to move. You feel lighter. That feels better to me. So I want to go through life in a lighthearted way. Challenges come my way. They're not going to weigh me down. And this can apply to anything. Having a love bubble state is one thing, being positive, but anything you do, any action, any intention can be done because of love. Let's talk about forgiveness real quick. As an empathetic person, we like to blame ourselves and take the burden of a lot of situations. What I'm beginning to realize is if I ask myself, in this particular situation, was I coming from a place of love? Even though I made a mistake and I said things that I shouldn't have, was I coming from a place of love? If the answer is yes, then it's a lot easier to forgive myself. I didn't have hate. I'm not excusing my past behavior. I take accountability from it. But when you take action and intention from your heart space, from love, instead of your ego, instead of from your head, instead of from a state of fear, what's the difference? You tell me. Everyone have a good day. Much love to you, okay? Love to you. Peace.